Hello, and welcome back to the Princess K Talk Show. Your host, Princess Kingsman. Right, I have to apologize because I have been away for like 2 months. For unforeseen circumstances, I couldn't record, but I am back and back for good, and I will try my best to do it as much as I can. So thank you very much for joining me. On this segment, I'm just completing the series that I started 2 months ago, which was the 7 tricks the enemy uses to derail us on things that we want to do in life and our focus. So the 6th point that I did the other time, 2 months ago, was doubt. And this week, or today, I am doing it on disbelief, and that's the final and last point that will complete our series. So everybody goes through a phase of disbelief. Everybody goes through a phase of a feeling of disbelief. Situations and things arise that makes us disbelieve. We hear things, we feel things, we see things, we go through things that makes us be like, nah, it's not working. Disbelief is the inability or refusal to accept that something is true or real. Okay, the central point of Christianity is that the belief in Jesus, the Son of God, and the enemy wants to disrupt that belief. One of the biggest tricks the enemy uses is to cause God's children to lose their belief in Him. And it's so many ways. The belief can come in a form of fear, it can come in a form of anxiety, it can come in a form of anger, it can come in all kinds of forms, right? It disguises itself. When bad things happen, the enemy uses the unfortunate circumstances to attack the faith and conviction of believers. If you're struggling with disbelief or doubt, don't stay quiet, okay? Ask for help. Finding answers from someone you love or trust, or even the Bible has so many examples of disbelief. Even our greatest Adam, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they all went through a phase of discouragement, disbelief, because situations arise that made them, kind of like question their faith and question if God is going to come through or not. And, there's just a whole lot of questioning because you're just thinking like, okay, one time you believe, your belief is strong, your faith is strong in Him, and then come out of the blue, something just attacks your faith, it attacks your belief and everything that you believe in. I mean, if we look around us and look around what's happening in the world, it's very easy to lose faith. It's very easy to be discouraged. It's very easy to go into disbelief and be like, nah, God is not going to do this for me. He's not going to come through because of this, because of that. And so many people, ask me like, okay, how can one have a successful relationship and marriage when, when you look around you, there's so many marriages failing, there's so many relationships failing, there's so many things failing, not just in relationships, there's father figure failing, there's mother figure failing, there's so many discouragement around us. But if we choose to focus on what's going on around us, then we will never get to see and focus on what God has already done for us. The blessings that's already in our lives, the things that He has done for us in the past, saving us from unforeseen circumstances that we didn't even know that we were in. So God saves us from things that we have no idea about every single day, every minute, because sometimes you could just be driving on the freeway and be like, don't take the M6, take the M7. So it varies, and God saves us in different mysterious ways every single day, and that should be part of something that should build our faith and be like, okay, God is gonna come through for me. He is looking out for me. His angels are around me. They're very hard. It's sometimes, in the situation that we live in now, I understand that it could be very hard, but I have to clarify as well that don't focus on the negative. Don't focus on the negative things that are happening in the world. Just keep your belief in God and Keep your faith in God, because that's another thing. The Bible is where most of the truth is. I say most of the truth because, some chapters and, they've been taken out of context, and, some books have been taken out of the Bible, but I'm not really going to go into that because we're never going to end that conversation. So it's just having to focus on the Word of God. The Word of God is power. It's a double-edged sword that the enemy obviously knows about. So we also need to know about it and be able to work on it and use it. We all have individual powers. I'm not talking dark powers. I'm talking inbuilt powers that we were born with. So let's develop that power. Let's develop that spiritual side. I'm not a religious person, but I do have a personal relationship with God. Doesn't mean my life is perfect, but I can tell you one thing. I do have a relationship with God. It might not be successful. It might not be a perfect relationship, but it is a relationship. And I can guarantee you that I have never regretted it. I have never regretted, focusing on the Word of God and believing that God can do immensely and abundantly beyond what we ask for and more. So disbelief is what the enemy does. He throws situations in our lives, even people. He can talk through people, so many things to just distract us and be like, nah, Jesus ain't gonna come through for you. But I can guarantee you he will come through for you, because if the enemy goes through so much energy and so much time to put in to discourage you and to make you disbelieve, then obviously he knows that your belief is power, and he knows that whatever you're believing for is something that has already been done, and it's just time will bring it into action. So my encouragement and my word for you today is to stay in belief in the Word of God, and whatever you believe in God for, I believe that he will do immensely and abundantly beyond what we expect and ask for. We just need to be patient and wait, because the waiting period is the hardest period of all. Take it from someone who is going through it, has been going through it, and will obviously continue going through it, because that waiting period will develop your faith, will develop your muscles to challenges, and will toughen you up to challenges, because God is going to bring more in the future. And how we handle it now will be able to we will be able to know how we're going to handle our future challenges. Okay, so stay in belief in whatever you believe in God. Stay in belief, because the enemy would love to take that from you, because he knows that with that you are powerful. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Do have a wonderful day. And next week or 2 weeks time, whenever I have the chance, I will be talking on a new topic, which is a series, but it's not as long as this one. It's a new series called The Power of Forgiveness, okay? So I will talk more on that, and stay tuned, and I'm sure that you're gonna love it. Thank you so much for your support. I love you always. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the little bell. That will give you notifications when I post. Do have a lovely, lovely day, and I love you always. God bless. Goodbye.